Isn't it nice when you go farming for a frame and you get what you want when you want it and you don't have to go on forever trying to do it? So we're just going to cover the rarer resources. The argon crystal needed for the chassis, the two of them, 2 niatan extract for the systems, and for some reason 8 neural sensors for the neuroptics. Put these parts together after building them for 12 hours and then throw them into the main blueprint that will take 3 long, I'm not going to say glorious, but long, very long days. So it's always 3.5 days, but with an increase of energy by 25 and by shields, I do believe it is, by 25. She is better than normal Octavia. If you main Octavia, this is a good frame. I have seen a lot of Octavias during events and other things around. I know a lot of people use Octavia Prime, and, well, there's a reason. She is actually pretty good. Not going to say what I was about to say, but she is actually a pretty good frame. Of course, the big kind of kick in the face about this is, for some reason, I cannot find argon crystals. Comparing the two, you can see there's the extra 25 energy, the extra 25 shields. Does come with more polarities. There's 2 dashes and a D. Dash in the aura, but I'd still wish that was a universal one so you could put in any aura you want, but let's be honest, most people are just going to do that. If you main Octavia, obviously Octavia Prime is going to be worth building. The extra 25 energy and the extra 25 shields are going to be very, very useful. It's the abilities that are where Octavia gets kind of weird. I mean, Mallet beats damage into nearby enemies. Sometimes I have had a couple issues with getting that to deal any damage to anyone, but it does work, and it works pretty effectively. Then there is the resonator, which is basically the ball, the roller ball that, well, enemies come to. So it will instantly pick up Mallet and run around with it attached. And it will just do that. It rolls around with the mallet attached, dealing damage as it goes. Then there is Metronome. That is where you have the rings that come in, and if you time an action to when it hits Octavia, you can have either a speed buff, a multi-shot buff, or a melee damage buff. If you are doing melee damage, you get Fort, and that increases melee damage. Opera is... Opera? Whatever, however that's pronounced, is multi-shot damage for your guns, and Vivis is obviously speed. You can also crouch at the same time, and if you time it right, you can go invisible. Not just Octavia, this one works on all of her allies as well, making her a amazing support frame. She can deal damage, buff allies, and then there's fourth, which is Amp, that, well, the best way to put this is exactly how they word it. It is a decibel level of sound in the area that is used to amplify damage buffs for Octavia and her allies. So the more noise you make in the area that this thing is active, the more damage you get. Usually appears in the top right. It basically gives you a damage multiplier. Another good reason for Octavia, that has always been a good reason, is her passive. You replenish 30 energy over 30 seconds while her abilities are active, within 15 meters of Octavia while her abilities are active. Meaning, it's not really enough to keep her abilities going constantly, but for allies, that can be really useful. Octavia has always and will continue to be a fairly useful frame. There is a few things you could really go into about increasing range for this, damage for that, of her base stats, but, well, she is just a really good all-round frame. Right up until you come in, you click on appearance, and this appears in the bottom right. The one thing that you have to really know about Octavia is this thing exists. I have no idea if that is playing. I'm just going to pause that. but you can create your own music here, or use one of the default songs. Oh, there's more down here. Okay, that's going to be a mallet wonder, and it is just a normal song that's in there. I think I'm going to stick with no, that's not right. Let's see if this one's going to work. You just type in song and then you can select the song that you want to show to people, and you can do that and make it a clickable link in chat to send it to people, which means other people can do exactly the same thing to you and you can see it. It is a Mandachord, but you literally just type in song. And before we get into builds, I do want to defend my range build first off ever so slightly because, well, the damage is 3.13 instead of 2.5. The resonator, the damage charm on that instead of 125 is 156. The metronome instead of 30% is 37.5 for speed, multi-shot and melee. Everything on there has gone up, and same goes with amp. Damage multiplier instead of being 0.25 to 2 is 0.31 to 2.5. I will take the damage multipliers every day over. The best way I can put this is the Overextend build everybody keeps telling me to use that has 40% power strength, turns the damage multiplier of mallet to 1, the damage / charm of resonator to 50, 12% buffs for metronome instead of 30, and amp never goes above 1. Its highest will be 0.8. Hard pass. Yes, I know I am sacrificing a lot of duration running this in Overextend, but everybody keeps telling me I should be running Overextend in this. So Overextend, Auger Reach, Stretch and Cunning Drift, 280% range. Oh yes, that gives a huge difference. Obviously, Transient Fortitude Intensify to make it go from 40% that the Overextend takes it down to, back up over 100%, which gives it 125. I was actually tempted on going with the Auger mod, but to be fair, Intensify gives it more damage. Will always be a really good support frame. And that cyst has to go. It's all I've been waiting for the past week. Now I can put the normal skin back on her, and I love the fact that the earrings move on the helmet, and the fact that the feathers coming off the top are basically the same strings that go all the way up her, apart from across the face. For some reason they're a different colour to the ones across the front of her. That was very weird. I don't understand why they did that exactly. Also, yes, I just glitched out that animation. Kind of on purpose. But Octavia Prime, always been a good frame as Octavia. Now, just better. So I think we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.